the Bolweg.
How's it, everyone? You are listening to Art with the Bolweg, and today we're going to be focusing on how to draw foreshortened figures. Now, I know that this can be a bit of a complex task for some people, so I'm going to break this down to the absolute simplest way in which how I understand drawing foreshortening. So we're going to start with your pole. Now, from the side view, a pole is a pretty rudimentary and simple thing to draw, but it gets a little bit more complex when it's pointing towards you. So what I like to do is work with these ring type drawn structures, with the point right in your face, the point closest to you being the largest ring, and as it gets further away I make those rings smaller and smaller, thus resulting in the illusion of a foreshortened pole. Now we can apply this to the drawing of an arm. Now, of course, drawing your arm from the side view, all you have to do is develop an understanding of that anatomy. Now, with figure drawing, if you want to get better at drawing your figures, you're going to have to practice drawing from pictures and drawing from life. It's the only way you're going to get familiar with understanding as to where those muscle masses need to be. And you can apply that knowledge to making more realistic foreshortened drawings. I'm going to explain that now. So in this case, I'm just doing the basic structures for a hand, and you can see I'm applying those ring type drawing structures to the arm, and as the arm gets further away, those rings are changing in shape ever so slightly. Now, what I've done with the drawing of that arm is I've drawn a ring over every area where the shape of the arm changes according to that muscle mass. And this helps me create an illusion of that arm disappearing off in the distance by drawing attention to the different spaces where the arm is larger or smaller. And I've done very much the same to the fingers. You notice I've drawn one of those ring structures at every point that there would be a change in your digits, in where your fingers bend. Now, hand drawings, I'm going to have to post a video about that a little bit later on, as there are a few tricks to hands outside of foreshortening. Now I'm going to go on to how to draw your foreshortened leg, and it's pretty much exactly the same to the arm, it's just a different set of anatomy. Once you've gotten that basic leg structure in and you have an understanding of anatomically where the leg would go from a side view, we can focus now on what it would look like if that foot was in your face. So I'm going to start off with drawing the heel and the sole of the foot. I'm always going to stress this when drawing foreshortening: start drawing the object or the part of the limb or whatever it is that is closest to you. This will help you more realistically span the structure of what you're drawing out as it gets further away from you. If you've drawn what is closest to you, you can use that as sort of a base measurement for what your foreshortening would look like as it gets further away from you. Now you see I've done that same thing to the leg that I did to the pole and to the arm, where everywhere it gets a little bit further out, I draw another ring to it. And I'm drawing those rings around areas where the leg is changing shape according to the anatomy. And once you start to build up that detail according to your knowledge of the leg's anatomy, it's also a little bit easier if you're working off an image that is directly before you, or from from a real life person standing in front of you. But it is very useful to know these rules of building up that ring type structure as it gets further away from you, to create that illusion of foreshortening, that illusion of depth. I'm also going to apply this a little bit to when you're looking down on someone. Say we've got a bird's eye view of someone walking, and once again I stress the point of I've drawn the part of the person or the part of the figure closest to me first, so that is a base structure from which to draw away from. The only exception is if I'm doing not such an extreme foreshortening. I normally prefer to start drawing my figures with the head first, as I like to use the head as my base measurement for all other aspects of the figure. Now in this figure I'm drawing, it is somewhat less foreshortened, but I still am applying those rules of foreshortening to the arms. Now you see what I've done there. I've added those ring structures to parts on the arm that would be distinct changes in the width of the arm. And then also I've thrown a little bit of a pole there to exacerbate what I'm showing. So whether it is the arm and you're capturing those widths of the muscle as they extend further away, or the leg, or any other structure of the figure in that foreshortening, you can apply the same rules throughout. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed that video. Please like, subscribe, share, and have an epic day.